What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, as always, joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So welcome to Friday's episode, the non-cybersecurity related episode. We talk about everything else, movies, books, games, TV shows, all that good stuff. Definitely tune in for the other shows this week. So Monday, we discussed the potential Ring breach, or at least that of a third party or a vendor of Ring being a subsidiary of Amazon now. And then on Tuesday, we talk about the NBA and all its various leagues and how they expand the entire globe. And how they have lost PI. So names and email addresses are out there in the wild. We kind of discussed the potential impacts of that being such a big company affecting so many people. And then on Wednesday, we have a really good discussion, about how the White House brought in a bunch of, they had a roundtable with Black cybersecurity experts. So just how they brought them in to discuss the future of cybersecurity and us within it. People of color, and specifically in this case, Black people, and how we only make up a certain percentage of cyber and how we kind of want to grow that and put people in the right positions to make those changes happen. So definitely tune in for that one. I thought it was a pretty good discussion. Depending on how you're if you're listening, it was all one episode. If you're watching on LinkedIn, it's probably gonna be broken into two different parts. So definitely tune in for that. But with all that being said, this is not that. This is everything else. So Shannon, how was your week?
Good week, man. Can't complain. It was a little wild with the weather out here in Colorado, man. It would be like good weather, and then it would snow, and then days it wasn't supposed to snow, we get some flurries. I'm like, man, it's crazy. Colorado, man. They told me when I first moved here, they said if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, and it's proven very true. You know what I mean? So, but in way of media though. So what did I watch this week? So I started watching this documentary called I Killed My Dad. And it was this guy he's an adult now, but down in Louisiana, that shot his father in self-defense. I've gotten partway through the first episode. I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes in it. Interesting take. Like, so he says he was being abused. Police say it doesn't look like that from the state of the home. Like if there was a struggle, you'd see these different things. So I want to see how that plays out. It was interesting to me, right? And I'm in my documentary phase, so it's kind of.
Let me ask you a question. Like, does it go the route of like they show everything being like he was, and then they show the other side where maybe he wasn't, and then he mixed the two together?
So I'm only partway through the first episode.
Okay.
So like the first episode, I might be 45 minutes or something like that. Okay. And I'm maybe 20 minutes in. So this is the kid, like the kid himself is being interviewed, and they're showing the what do you call it? The interrogation room, like videos and whatnot. And then they're talking to different people, and they're like, oh, he doesn't look like he's remorseful, and this, that, and the third. And they even had, so I'm guessing this kid has not gone to jail yet, because like when it first starts up, it's him walking up to the chair to be interviewed. Mm-hmm. And he's 18 now. So at the time he was like 15 or 16 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Homeschooled kid down in Louisiana. But yeah, he says his father was coming after him, and he shot him and killed him. But yeah, so it's not, we'll see throughout these few episodes what it turns out. I'm pretty sure they'll come out with more stuff, right? So
yeah, because that usually gets me. I'd be like, yeah, I see all the evidence, and then they flip it the other way. I'd be like, oh no, like so it was like Mommy Did and Dearest on HBO did that to me. They show it from, because it was the girl who had she was a victim of Munchausen syndrome, right? Like the mom was making her sick on purpose. So she had like the boyfriend kill the mom, but they showed one perspective. I was like, oh man, yeah, she had to defend herself, yada yada yada. Then showed the other perspective. I was like, oh no, she's a mastermind. And then they kind of pull it all together. I was like, man, they're really good at this.
but and it's one of those things where they probably leave you with a decision to make, right? Like I don't know if she went to
it kind of
or anything.
Yeah, it kind of, at the end it kind of was like, was it justifiable? And then you like the ethical implications of that, right? Kind of go into it. Like she was a mastermind, but she was being like severely abused, right? She had like a feeding tube at one point, didn't need it, right? Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta watch it.
Is that the one where the girl's got the bald head and the glasses? Yeah. I think I've seen the thumbnail for it. Yeah. I think I've seen
it. It was really good. Yeah.
Okay. It's HBO Max, or what was that?
Yes. Yep. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah. I did see the thumbnail for that, so I might
Yeah,
put it.
mommy, dead, and dearest. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it had me like the whole way through. Like, it's like I think it's like 2 hours or close to 2 hours, but it's like just one shot. Like, it was like, yeah, 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 like that makes sense. And then they flip the other way. You're like, oh, wait a minute.
then you start doubting yourself. You're like, do
Right.
I
Yep.
a killer now? Like, what is going on here? But yeah. So I'll probably let y'all know next week, like
Okay.
how I feel about that one. But I killed my dad. Is what I watched. And then I watched. I started picking up watching Inside Job again. This is an animated series about this girl
Oh, yeah, I've
who's
never watched it.
the first season was okay. The second one, I'm like, I don't know.
Okay. Because it
It's
goes off of big conspiracies, right?
yes. So like so the girl works for what is the name of the deep state that she works for? They have a name for it. They call it the deep state, but there's a name for it, like Incognito Inc. or something like that.
Okay.
And then on this one, they also have so the other secret societies that run the world are the Atlanteans, the Atlanteans, the Catholic Church, the Illuminati. What's the other ones? There's like two more. It's like six of them, but yeah, they go back and forth on stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. They just had the episode I just watched had a. It doesn't have Keanu Reeves. It's a character they draw Keanu Reeves, but
Right.
him being a soul sucking vampire because he doesn't or blood sucking vampire because he doesn't age, and then like all these leading men that don't age in Hollywood, that's what they do.
Right.
But I think I like the first season better, but the second one I'm kind of like, I'm a few episodes in. I'm gonna keep watching, but sometimes people go too far to go too far. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like
Gotcha.
I don't know about that, but so yeah, I started watching that. Man, I started watching Elementary again. Like it's an older TV series. It's no longer on TV, but it's like a modern day Sherlock Holmes. Like I like that show a
Oh,
lot.
okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got Lucy Liu and Johnny Lee Miller from Hackers. Remember Hackers, the old one with
Hmm.
Angelina Jolie? Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the guy in the male in that one. But so started watching that again. I like it a lot. But
Did it come to a conclusion?
so it did. So like it
It did. Okay.
off the air like 2 maybe 3 years ago or something like that. But it had seven seasons, I think 7 or 8 maybe. But no, it's a good series. But like everything Sherlock, I will watch. You know what I mean? Like I watched, Benedict Cumberbatch when he did it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I watched Robert Downey Jr. when he did it in the movies. Like I don't know. I like the mystery stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have you watched it's the
Not Enola. You gonna say Enola Holmes? No.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say no, there's another one though. Something Dickens or something like that. It's the female who played in the Hawkeye TV show. She was like the she's learning from Hawkeye. What's her name? I can't remember what her name is.
Is
But
it Satterfield or something like that?
yeah,
Or
but she has one. But you know what? I think it's on Apple. So I don't think you would have watched it. But she had one for a couple years. I don't know if it came to conclusion or not, but that's where she was known for before she joined the MCU. This is where I knew her from before joining the MCU. I only watched a couple episodes though.
I saw her in True Grit. The new True Grit was where I saw her.
Oh yeah, she was in True Grit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So
I do remember that now. I would have never remembered that movie if you didn't bring it up. It wasn't bad. It just doesn't stand out in my mind.
not memorable is what. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good though, but it's just like man.
Yeah.
I think was it one of those movies that won a bunch of awards that year, so that's why I watched it. Kind of like your No Country for Old Men or your
I do not watch. I do not watch it if it has a lot of awards. Like if it's
too many awards, you don't pop like so like then you're not gonna watch what's it called that just came out
everything everywhere
everything
all at once. No,
yeah
I wasn't gonna watch it anyway. So like okay, so here's the thing.
because I described it
Even when you described
poorly.
it, you said it was okay though, right? If I
Yeah, I
remember,
just thought it was okay.
you
It's
thought it was
winning
all right.
everything. I gotta
Yes,
watch it again because I missed something.
but like
It wasn't
it's
bad.
the
It's
weird
just
stuff though. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's like it's multiverse stuff. But I think like not to give something credit because it's winning awards, but I think I watched it and I literally watched it at like 10 o'clock at night. I was dozing off. It wasn't that it wasn't exciting, I was tired. So when I got done with it, I missed the ending. I fell asleep before the end, so I had to rewind and watch the ending again. And it was just okay, right? Like it might have been better had I watched it at a more reasonable time and really got into it, right? Because it's very well written and developed, but it just didn't really do it for me for the multiverse stuff. It was just okay, you know what I mean? Like, but it's winning everything.
And you like
Anything that can be won, it won.
You're right, right. And you like all that weird stuff. That's what I'm saying, is that
I
that's
do.
not
I do.
necessarily my genre, you know what I mean? So like because I do not like having like I I can suspend disbelief, right? Like I'll
Mhm.
watch all types of superhero movies and stuff like that. And one person that comes out unscathed when they take on 30
Yeah.
military members, like I'll watch all that, you know what I mean? And I can enjoy it. But to be weird is what I get from a lot of these shows now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You'll watch, I'll see some stuff come up on these streaming services, and I'll look at the little trailer or clip or whatever they give you, and I'm just like, I do not get it. Like I just like I don't know, and I am definitely probably
So the
the
ninja versus shark, you're not gonna watch that. That I sent you?
no, 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 that
It's a
was
ninja
way too
fighting a
weird.
shark, though.
Way too weird.
I'm not watching that either.
I even
I'm
said
not
in the
watching it
thing, I
either.
was like, yo, this is way too far gone, because then there was zombies too, right? There was
I
something
think
else.
there were zombies, yeah. But I
Shark.
mean, you had Sharknado, you had Mosquito. Like these are all sci-fi originals, by the way.
And
Classics.
this is how I know people aren't trying anymore, right? Like you got ninjas, okay, yeah, like okay, people like ninjas, people like shark movies, and then you added
Hmm.
zombies. People like zombies. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the zombies turn into vampires, right? Like that's just the
You
route
just
we're
never
going.
know. You just don't know.
I tell you what I do know, I won't be watching it. I know that.
Right, right.
But no, not for me. And I know how it comes off, right? Like I can feel myself becoming an old fuddy duddy. You know what I mean? I can
Right.
feel myself like this
You just
is
have
terrible. Like
the
as I
urge
push
to kick
my
people off your lawn.
yeah, yeah. As I slam my cane down on the ground, this is awful. Back in my day, movies were about something. You know what I mean? Like I get it. You know what I mean? But it's not for me. I don't want to have to conform to what people are telling me is popular now. I want you to keep the
Mhm.
same standard that I liked and I developed with. You know what I mean? I feel the same way about music. Like music nowadays, I'm just like, I do not
But
get
music is trash though.
it. See,
That's true.
come on over, Ryan. Come on
Music
over.
is trash.
Slam your
Every
cane
now and
down.
then.
Back in my day, music
Every
was
now
about
and then.
something.
Yeah, every now and then. But for the most part, if you little whatever, you trash. Just put it out there.
I mean, there was that
But
stretch where it was like mumble rapping was the thing. And I was like,
mhm.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah, then it was drill rap, and now I don't even know what it is now. Like there's so many different movements. Like I think it'll come full circle, right? At some point, it'll go through all this nonsense, and it'll go back to being conscious rap, I guess. Or not
But
even like I'll take I don't even know what genre you put it in, because there's conscious rap and then there's like lifestyle, whatever, like your NWAs, your Wu-Tang clans, your like there's a balance in those.
well, back then it was considered gangster rap, right? So like,
Yeah, I didn't want to use that. I was like, what would you call
I
that
know.
nowadays? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what it was called back then. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's not like it's not already coming around, right? Like I'll hear a song, like if I'm in the car, right? Like especially if I have my kids in there, like I got to turn on, Sirius, but even with that, that's not safe all the time, man. Some of the stuff
No.
they got on there now, I'm just like, oh, like my daughter's 5, she can't hear that. She's a parrot right now. She repeats everything. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but yeah, I like I will hear something, and when it starts out, I'm like, where do I know that from? And it's not even like they're going back to the 60s and 70s for these songs anymore. Like when they sample, they're sampling stuff from like less than 20 years ago now. I'm like,
Right.
where?
Well,
Like,
so 20. So I think I heard somewhere 20 years is considered old school
classic.
now.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
classic or old school. Yeah, and that blew my mind. I was like, 20 years ago was 2003.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, I was 2003. I was 20. So what you're saying is,
Yeah.
was I 20? I wasn't 20 yet, was I? Yeah, 2003. I was 20. Yep, I was born in 83. Yep. Yep.
See, that's
So I am I classic? Am I classical? That's crazy to me. But yeah, they're doing samples of stuff that I heard, and I was just like, it was like one was like a Wayne, is it Wayne Wonder? I forget, but it's like it was a beat that Nicki Minaj just sampled, and I was like, that's not old. I was like, she just took something that was just like just came out, and I looked up how old it was, and I was like, that's still not old, but it is. People weren't born yet when it came out, and now they're in their 20s, right?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and that's the thing. The fans that are listening to it will tell you, "Oh, this is great. This is whatever." I was like, "Yeah, I remember it from 2003 when it
Yeah, they'd
came."
be like, yeah, my parents used to listen to that or something like that. You'd be like, ooh, it's
Is
like
that
Buffy the
what?
Vampire Slayer, like it was getting staked. You'd be like, oh, it hurts so bad. You're like, yeah, classics.
Oh man. Yeah, it's I don't know. I can't get down with music nowadays, man. Like, and I try, you know what I mean? So like I have a subscription to Apple Music, and every once in a while I'll just like I'll look at what the top songs are,
Yeah,
and I might get 15 seconds in, and I'm like, nope, not for me, not for me, not for me.
yeah. I'll do new R&B, like new R&B and stuff like that. I'll listen to because it's the way they go about it, right? It's like the Kings of Comedy, like he was saying, like just how they get right to the point now versus like it was like like a slow type courting type situation. So yes, it's a lot more raunchy now, right? But it's not like they're not breaking the music, so to speak. They're still singing, right? It just they a little more mannish than back in the day. It's like why my mother-in-law would call it mannish. They being more mannish, right? But like rap is just trash. They're not even making logical sentences, right? Like the
No,
bars don't make sense.
they're not even rhyming anymore, man. Like it's
Nah.
crazy. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here.
But yeah, so I think that'll come full circle. Like people get tired of that as they grow up, or not. Like if that's what you heard, like if just imagine, like if that's your introduction to rap is um mumble rap. Like, will you want to listen to mumble rap when you're 40? Well, that's still like, oh man, it's a classic. Is that the case?
Technically it is because it'll be past 20 years though, right?
Oh man,
So
that's
technically it's
crazy.
classic.
That's great. That will be classic. You like the little the whatevers will be classical music at some point.
Yeah, they are all little something, aren't they?
Every
Uzi,
single one of them.
Uzi
So many
Vert.
littles.
Yeah, it's like, oh man.
Yachty,
Yeah, I'm like, oh
baby, the baby, like so many
yeah.
different babies. Who babies this?
Exactly.
Now we really do sound like old man. We officially hit that tier. But you get to play anything this week?
I'm sorry, man.
I kind
I'm
of
sorry.
broke them down. Who babies this?
Oh man, no, nothing new. I turned on Madden real quick, just because I was bored yesterday. My wife was like, "Oh, it's been a minute since I see you play video games." I was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of bored." She was like, "You want to go do something?" Not like sexual, like go out the house or say.
See, I even go that. I
I,
wasn't even going
I, I
that
just
direction.
I for everybody else, I didn't want to make it seem like that. You know what I mean? It was the middle of the day. Not to say that I didn't used to get down, but you know.
Oh man.
but but that
This
was
is my fault for bringing up R&B.
in my
This is
youth.
me.
In my, I know, right? You go straight
I
to it
brought it
now.
up. I opened the door. I
Yeah,
opened the door for
yeah.
this.
What's all this romanticizing, girl? Just pull him down and do whatever. No, I'm joking. Let me stop. But no, no, I didn't play any like new video games or anything like that. Like I said, turned it on. Was like, yeah, that's right. That's why I don't like it. Turned it
There
back
you
on.
go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They did something crazy where they just break the physics. They turn the
Yeah.
wrong direction, catching it from behind, fingertip.
I'm like, how did you intercept that? Like it was over your head, like you did a super jump. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. No,
Yeah, there should be a ceiling. Like they should they should bump the ceiling and not be able to go any higher than that. Because so yeah, sometimes they jump like over the player.
yeah. It's
Like everybody's not Randy Moss.
yeah,
You'd
exactly.
be like the kicker. You'd be like, why is he even in this play? Where'd he come from?
I looked at your jump rating. It's a 25. Like, what are you doing?
Scaling people. You're like, yo, it's crazy.
But for me, that's pretty much it, man. Like I just saw it got released, and I was tracking it was coming out soon, but I didn't realize it. But the second Shazam came out this week,
Yeah,
actually.
it's getting decent ratings.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's doing all right. The first one surprised me, so I'm kind of like, do I want to see it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the first one was surprisingly good because I was like, nah, it's gonna be whack. And I watched it, I was like, it wasn't bad actually. I actually did a really good job.
Yeah,
Like, to pull at the heartstrings, it
a
was
little
like,
bit.
my tear ducts tingling. Like, I lost those in the war. I don't cry. So, but yeah, I thought that, but I'm not. If I don't go to the theater to see Ant-Man and Wasp, I'm not going to see Shazam too.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and I was telling him about the Shazam thing. I was like, man, it came out today. He was like, and I was telling him, I was like, I might make some time this weekend to go see that. He was like, and not see Ant-Man and the Wasp. I was like, nah, man. I was like, at this point, I'm just gonna wait the 90 days for it to come out on Disney Plus. Like, it's not, nothing is bringing me in to be like, hey, I need to go spend money on that.
Yeah.
And look, here's the thing: in 6 more days, John Wick is coming out anyway, right? So I know.
Yeah, and that's really crazy. Like, because I was already hyped to see it. Because now I've watched all of them because you and Levon put me onto it, right? But now, is it
Lance Reddick.
Yeah, Reddick. I was gonna say his name wrong. Yeah, Lance Reddick passed away at 60, and he's a staple character in that, right? So not only is this, because this is supposed to be not closing the door on future John Wick, or but kind of like tying the bow. Like, he can't keep, like, it's literally, he's been fighting nonstop for a week because they go back to back to back, right? Like,
So from the second one on, actually, the second into the third was back to back. It was
yeah, it's back to back. Like, literally just picks up where the last one left off at. So, like, this one I don't think can, but I don't know,
I
right?
think
Not
they
to spoil
do.
anything, but
I think they do. So like, well, the third one came out 3 years ago. At this point, if they haven't seen it, it's on them, right? But like he's down there with the Bowery King, and like the way that this one ends up, like from the trailers and whatnot, he's coming back, right? Like people
he's
are,
got to be in rehab though. Like, the way that last one ended,
I don't know, man.
like, he should be in a full body cast.
Yeah, yeah, and here's the thing. Like I could tell in the third one, Keanu's slowing down a little bit, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
because he's doing
yeah.
his own stunts.
Because
Like
he's in his
shooting
50s now, right?
He's almost 60. I want to say he's
Yeah.
58, 59.
So he literally, he's at peak performance for his age, but
Yeah,
he's not Matrix Keanu anymore.
no. So for him to keep going, because I can't remember if it was you or Levon that said that there's supposed to be 6 John Wicks. Like their
Yeah.
plan is to do 6 of those, right? So if we're at number 4 and they're coming out every 3 years, like when he's 64, like this is not, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But so and I don't know any spoilers about it or anything like that, but I thought it's supposed to tie up his rampage basically from one till now. And then they're setting up for prequels. So I thought the next two were going to be
So
in the universe.
they got a, what was it? I think it was a TV series. I don't think it was a movie called Ballerina. So I was reading this when Lance Reddick died. I was reading
Okay.
him, and he was in the prequel called Ballerina. So it actually had, um, what's her name? She was Morticia, Angelica Houston. So remember in the 3rd one, Angelica Houston was in there. She was the ballet director or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right. So this is supposed to be a prequel that has her in it. Lance Reddick was supposed to be in it. What's her name? Anna de Armas is supposed to be in it. So I mean, they got some big names, you know what I mean, that are doing stuff. But I don't know if that ties into the 6, right? And again, I can't remember if it was
Okay. I
a
see what you're
movie
saying.
or a TV series. So it could be a 6 John Wick properties, right? So you got the prequel, and then maybe they'll do something afterwards. It may not be him in all of them, but we'll see how it is in this one, right? Like, so I said, I could see him slowing down in the 3rd one, so I could imagine in the 4th, like, like it was to the point, and God bless him, right? Like Keanu can do no wrong, right? It's one of those things where don't be surprised if it comes out that he's kicking puppies, but I mean, right now he's every. What did I see? I was watching Inside Job, and they were talking about him, and he's like the internet's boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah, you can't do any wrong.
He can't do any
It's
wrong,
the
right? Like,
Keanu Renaissance is what they were
yeah,
calling it.
yeah. So like if I see the 4th one and he slowed down some more, it's like, all right, man, like, hey, you might have to hang it up. You know what I mean? Like, It
Yeah.
just is.
I mean, like, and when we say slow down, he's still faster than us. But
Sure.
like he's but I think that it goes hand in hand with the movie, right? Like it's literally each like night or day or whatever. Like there's a couple days have passed, but it's still like 1 week. He's tired. He's had a long week. All right. They just killed his dog. It's still weighing on him. And
Right.
now he's been whooping ass for 4 or 5 days straight. So he's got to take a break.
I haven't seen him eat one time.
No, that's that was a 24 joke. Like I don't know. I never watched 24, but it said 24. Like he didn't use the bathroom in the whole 24 hours.
Yeah, because that one every hour is actually an hour in the day or something.
Yeah,
Like that,
yeah.
right? I never watched it either, but somebody was telling me that. I was like, really? I was like, so everything that you're watching takes time over that time frame? I was like, that's
Right. He's very busy. Like I've had stressful 24-hour days on, like deployments and stuff like that, but I still take time to eat a bag of chips, drink some water, use the bathroom. Like, no, not the dude from 24.
Agent Jack Bauer, I think was his name.
Yeah. His whole intestines aren't right. Like something wrong with that guy. But for all I know, there might be an episode where he actually does take a bath. That'd be hilarious. Like he walks off camera for a minute, and comes back like, all right, you hear the toilet flush in the background.
You hear a toilet flush.
Like now it makes continuity sense. They figured it out.
That just doesn't make for good TV or movies. Though,
No.
So it's like,
I mean, if he kills somebody in the bathroom, though, they could tie that together. He goes to take a bathroom break and he has to kill somebody because they did it in Bond, right? Then he choke a dude out in the urinal in the one Bond flick with the new
Craig?
the Daniel Craig Bond. Like he wound up killing the dude. Like it was like a long fight where he winds up like he takes the dude's head and he breaks the urinal with it.
Oh, yeah.
They can do that. And he goes in there and then a dude tries to sneak up behind him.
Yeah, you're right.
Like we don't have to break the action.
Actually, no, that wasn't Bond. That was oh man. Was that Bond?
I think it was Bond because there's a Mission Impossible where they fight in the bathroom too.
Mission Impossible is what I'm thinking about with Henry Cavill. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, but there's a Bond where it's just unless I'm misremembering, but I believe there's a Bond scene where he kills a dude in the bathroom. Like he's at the urinal and he kills him, and it's like not quick kill. Like they're fighting for a little bit. But the Mission Impossible one is Henry Cavill's like loading his biceps. That's a different fight.
Loading his biceps. That is what he.
You'll see like he do
put his arms up.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to get his sleeves up, but yeah, you bring a good point. Yeah,
loading them up. He's loading them up.
Yeah.
But I don't even know how we got here. But
that's what this episode is. But that's what this episode is, right? No cyber. Yeah. This is just shooting the poop.
There it is. But what did I watch? I watched some stuff this week. I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
The old one?
The youngest, yep. Because I found out it's PG-13. Like so Amazon highlighted it as something you might want to watch. And I was in my mind as a child, that was a rated R movie, and it was very gruesome.
Yes.
It is not. So I looked at the rating just to make sure he could watch it. It was PG-13. I was like, really? And we started watching it, and there aren't any there's one makeout scene because they're at like makeout point or whatever at the very beginning of it. And then it's just that movie is terrible, by the way. Like it's not scary. He loved it. I was like, was it scary? He was like, oh, a little bit. I was like, really? So it goes to show that way that a child's mind processes images and the way adults are totally different. Because I remember it being scary.
So
it
even
was
when
not
showing the blood though, because remember they did the funny straws they put in the cotton candy cocoon, blood come through. That still makes it PG-13.
And there was a lot of cursing. There's only like one F-bomb. I was like, man, I knew it was gonna happen. But he said the S word a lot. The one cop, remember he had the one the one old gruff cop or whatever. He's cursing a lot. This be PG-13.
This was your youngest son? This was Mace?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I didn't like, so I had to mute a couple of times when they start cussing. I turned the subtitles off so you couldn't read it.
No, I remember that being more than a PG-13 movie.
But yeah, he wanted to watch a scary movie, so I was like, let me flip through this real quick, and I was like, we can't watch anything like like modern, like no smile or nothing like that. And then I saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was like, I watched this when I was a kid, and then I looked at the rating just to make sure. It's like, oh, it's PG-13. So,
Huh. You know what though? That's probably
but I
one of
watched
those.
it when I was age too. So like sometimes I'd be like, I want to expose my kid to this, but I turned out okay.
But could it be it got reclassified? Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they re-edited it. You think?
No,
Maybe it's a
I
different
think they
cut.
reclassified it. So rated R back in that was like late 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the year for that? So mid to late 80s. Like rated R then is not rated R now, right? Like it's very mild comparatively speaking. So maybe it got reclassified as a PG-13.
Oh, yes, true. That
Maybe.
is
I
true.
don't know.
But yeah, but it wasn't as violent as I remember it. But again, that's crazy is how your mind processes stuff. Because I remember it being scary and violent. And when I watched this time, it was not like people were getting zapped and then they would just like glow and they'd be like, ah, and then they would be in the cocoon. I remember that being way more gruesome.
I don't know. It's funny what your mind. It's funny what your mind tells you happened from when you were younger, right? Because again, that's
Yeah.
your perception of it. You're like, I remember that being way more when like my mom told me. My mom told me when I was young. Now, mind you, I was like 2. She was like, "Oh, you were so scared of Thriller, like the video, the Michael Jackson video."
Yeah.
I love Thriller. Like I could watch Thriller all like 15 minutes of it, like all day. You know what I mean? Like to me,
Right.
I don't know, it was good. But she was like, "Oh, you used to be so scared," but I don't remember it first off because I was so young. But I can remember when I was old enough to remember when I was younger. I loved watching Thriller. I loved
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? The werewolf scene, like, and if you look at that now, like, yeah, it might have been good for the 80s, but you look at it now, you're like, these are terrible special effects. I would dog a movie for that, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But this is a double classic. It's got to be like 40 years ago now, you know what I mean? It's a double classic.
Yeah. That's very true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's crazy, man.
But
Wow.
yeah, so we watched that. And then I watched Leprechaun that came on because of St. Patrick's Day, which is very
That's got to be rated R, right?
that one is rated R, but
Okay, all
we didn't watch that one together.
right.
But I
Okay.
watched it because I didn't remember it, right? And so I'm watching, I'm like, who is the female lead? I was like, she looks so familiar. I was like, oh, that's Jennifer Aniston. I was like,
Is it?
she does age, like because she was like probably a young adult in the movie or whatever. But that movie is ridiculous. Like I'm like, how many leprechauns? It's probably like a good 5 or 6 because I remember Leprechaun in the Hood very vividly. I've watched that one a couple of times. Hilarious. But I never watched the original.
Yeah.
And it has some things in it that would not be allowed in modern movies, right? Like they go into some stuff with special needs and stuff like that in the movie. And I'm just like, that would not be okay. Because there's certain words you can't use anymore, there's certain things you can't make fun of anymore. Like I was just like, this movie is in a vacuum. Like it does a lot of stuff that should not be allowed anymore. So I watched that, and then because I was on a bad movie kick for whatever reason, um, and then I played Miles Morales. I started playing it, and it looks amazing. Like I thought that Spider-Man looked really good, but Miles Morales looks even better.
Well, Miles Morales was developed for PS5 too, though, when it came out, right? Like that was
Right.
a dual
Yeah,
release.
it looks amazing. I put on performance mode, so it's 60 frames, and it
Mhm.
turns down the ray tracing, I guess. I don't know if it's off, but it's at least it's not. If you turn on ray tracing mode, it's 30 frames with ray tracing. So I even tried. I was like, nah, I need all the frames. But it looks great. It looks great. It plays really well. It's very fluid. I'm getting my butt kicked. I just am not good at it for whatever reason.
It's because you never upgrade, man. Like you need to do the side stuff so you can get to
To
point
upgrade, yeah,
to
yeah. But
upgrade. Like
I'm only like 30 minutes, 45 minutes into it. So I'm at the very beginning. It's still teaching me stuff, right? So I won't do like I did last time. Like my Spider-Man had no extra abilities. I like same thing with Kratos. Kratos was just basic, basic Kratos. And I had to start going through the skill tree. I'm just being lazy. But
it,
I
it's
plan to not be lazy though in this one.
it's a good series, man. Like go ahead and level up so you can really enjoy it. And if the other one's coming out this year, right? In the fall, right?
Yes,
September.
what's going on this fall. Mm-hmm.
So not Miles Morales, but Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Golly. You see?
Yep. So I just started playing that. And then I downloaded Horizon Forbidden West, and I watched the video on Zero Dawn. And the video, I think it was like 15 minutes long. And that is a very long, I don't know what to call it, convoluted. Like it's a lot happening. So the way he breaks the video down, I appreciated though, was he talked about the end game stuff at the beginning. Like he gives you the whole history. Here's what happened in this year, and this year, and he builds up to, and then here's the beginning of the game. So like he already explained the stuff that happens at the end of the game. So for continuity's sake. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that. Cause I wouldn't have got it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he had broken
It's
it down the way it happens in the game, I wouldn't have got it.
it's a lot going on in there, man. But yeah, it's I I, I want to get to Forbidden West. I do, but like I'm not playing video games a lot at all
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, not, let alone like I can't see putting in 100 hours again. Like I did with that one. I just can't see doing it. So
As you say, it's gonna get you. It's hooks in you.
yeah, but I say that having put in almost 80 with God of War, right? But it's one of those things I had to wait 4 years for that, right? Like
Mhm.
I just played Zero Dawn, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Zero Dawn. Mhm.
Yeah, I just played Zero Dawn because it was on the PSN network, whatever, for free. You know what I mean, with
Right.
the DLC. So I had just put in 100 hours when it was free. So then was like, do I want to get back into this again? Like, it really hooked me. It did. I'm eventually going to do it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No, it was good though, because I want to get through these just because I've been sitting on them for a while and they're free, right? Free in quotations. I paid for a service that provided them. Um, but there's so many games coming out that I want to play this fall. I kind of want to knock out some of my back catalog. And that's why I kind of skipped Spider-Man. I kind of because I got about halfway through. I got to the point where the stuff is released in Spider-Man. So more than halfway. Um, but I can't go back and play it with the mechanics that I left it at because I've left it for too long. I just had to relearn the whole thing again. I'll get my butt kicked. Um, and then Horizon, I just could not get into it. So I'm hoping that I can just blow past that part in the beginning of this one. My hopes are it quickly teaches me the mechanics. I just can go right through it. Because this fall you got Starfield, you got Spider-Man, and something else coming out this fall. So like some heavy hitters are coming out. And then even this summer, like right or not, what is this spring? You got Resident Evil 4 just dropped. I played the demo for that. I don't know if you tried that out. Um, I think we talked about it before. Like Resident Evil 4 came out for the GameCube, and then it was re-released on every system afterward. It's one of my favorite Resident Evils, and they did an amazing job in this remake. They modernized the whole thing. Like it looks amazing. Um, they remixed what they need to remix, at least in the demo, and the mechanics feel better. You don't feel like a tank, walking tank anymore. Like you can actually move. Because before you couldn't walk and shoot. Like that was a whole Resident Evil thing. Like you cannot walk and shoot, but now you can. So stuff like that. And it just looks amazing. Like I was like, man, these graphics are insane. Like finally, this generation is getting graphics where I'm like, okay, I invested good money for these systems. Because before I was just like, man, you can play this on anything.
I understand it, man. Like
Yeah.
especially if it was GameCube, right? Like that's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Time ago.
Yeah, they did a really good job. So I don't like the demos on the PS5 or probably PS4 and PS5, but it's on the PS5 and the Xbox. So if you ever get a chance to just check it out, I would recommend it because I don't know if you're a Resident Evil fan, but it's just a good action horror game in general. And you don't really need to know a lot of the backstory.
I played one of them years ago. I don't even remember which system it was on. It was a long, long time ago. But it was the one where the big Frankenstein guy just burst through the wall all of a sudden.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yep.
yeah. I was
There's
like,
either two
all
or
right.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it I don't know. It didn't really get me though, right? So like it's kind of like zombies, you know what I
Mm.
mean? I don't know. Just wasn't really my thing.
Right, right.
But
But I think what else is coming out for free? I think Uncharted Lost Legacy that's going to drop soon on PSN, and so is Street Fighter 5. And I keep wanting to get into fighting. I've been terrible at fighting games my entire life, so I will still download it and I will still play it and still be terrible at it. So it
I didn't even know there
is
was
what it is.
I didn't even know there was a Street Fighter 5. Like, is that where they're up
Yeah.
to?
So the 5 was exclusive to PlayStation. They bought the rights for 5. So 6 is about to drop. So that's why 5 is free now. And 6 is going to be multi-platform. So and it looks amazing. Like these games look amazing. I just don't look good playing them. That's the problem.
But at this point, right? Like, if you come out with a game that doesn't look good, like you're automatically going to get discarded, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
with the technology being what it is, you can't come out with something that just looks terrible. You can't.
that's true. Yeah, even indie games have to look amazing, right? Oh, speaking of which, not indie game, but I forgot. So summertime is Zelda. So Breath of the Wild 2 drops, or Tears of the Kingdom, or whatever they're calling it. But that drops in May. So just for my birthday. So like busy gaming season, people. But yeah, so that's my plan, is to knock these out, and then Breath of the Wild, and then the fall. Gotta have priorities. But that pretty much wraps up my week. And then just work stuff, right? So work and learning the ropes, all that good stuff. And then when I get a chance, let's unwind with the family.
That's always the best part, right?
Yes, sir. But I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. So definitely continue to tune in. Check us out on Monday and Tuesday for our topics, Wednesday's discussion. And then every Friday we do this, where we just talk about just what we did or anything but cyber, and for what it's worth. But hit us up on all the social medias that go by our name. You hit me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. Stay safe, stay secure.